told you this podcast was going to be full of irreverence and joy. I'm determined to keep that promise, and it looks like it already happened, right? Because I personally have gone my entire life without being accused of racism, but I released one episode about being against the Black Lives Matter organization, like specifically the organization. And I've already got people trying to cancel me, defame my business, my band, this podcast, like the whole works, like a lot of it coming from that Instagram account, right? And if you're watching the video version of the podcast, I'm going to throw some screenshots of some of the stuff that was said. Here's how you know this is all virtue signaling, just political garbage, right? This screenshot in particular, the reason they came after me, they quote me saying, I think the Black Lives Matter organization doesn't actually believe that Black Lives Matter. They're using that quote to somehow frame me as a racist, right? So, I mean, think about that for a second. The reason I'm complaining about the movement, more specifically the organization, Black Lives Matter, is because I don't think it actually cares about Black lives in a way that's actually going to help Black people, actually help Black lives, Black people stay alive, right? It's actually making some of those problems worse, in my opinion, or at the very least, it's not addressing and sometimes completely ignoring much more prevalent problems in the Black community statistically, right? Mostly, and I don't claim to speak for the Black community, I'm just looking at the data, right? Mostly because it's using a false narrative to basically promote a political agenda, a Marxist agenda, right? And I'm saying that from the perspective of a white person who has been told that by members of the Black community, right? I've had conversations, people keep saying, like, listen to Black people and listen to Black stories, and I have. It's coming from Black people, a lot of my opinions. The point is this: if I was actually a racist, why would I care, right? Why would my critique of the Black Lives Matter organization be that they're not doing a good job for Black people? Why would I risk being called a racist by my community, risk my livelihood to say what I think is the truth, right? 2 + 2, carry the 14. Right. It's because, of course, I think the Black Lives Matter, right? Of course I think that. I just think that the organization is trash and it's actually hurting the Black community. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this week's Hemlock podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends and family. Tell them to subscribe, because if you loved it, then they're going to love it too, obviously. Also, head on over to iTunes to leave us a 5-star rating and review. That helps us a lot with the charts. And if you're not going to leave us 5 stars, then forget about it. Don't worry about it and enjoy the rest of your day. Lastly, head on over to the hemlockpodcast.locals.com to become a supporter and receive access to exclusive content and ad-free versions of the Hemlock podcast. Love you so much for listening. Let's continue to ride out this increasingly insane world with irreverence and joy. This is your host, Patrick Jolliker, and much love, y'all. Peace.